to hold this. Hold my thing. They got food. They're like, oh, I'll get it. Well, no, I shouldn't. Have prepaid service. That's what happens. So, yeah, I have prepaid service. That really sucks. I need to go find a good area. Which makes no sense. I'm tired too. I'm really exhausted. Wait. So, no one wants to go out and do anything anymore. I'm just kidding. Well, we went out and I guess apparently there was a protest the way we were going, and I was like, because there was police, there was people with signs. I guess it's the No Kings protest, and I guess they chose the certain area. And yeah. So I don't even know. Whatever. And I have to hold my tripod and What is going on? This is crazy. I know. There's nothing I can do about it till I get somewhere that actually works. I don't want to go all the way over there though. It's okay. We'll find some place. Why? It works fine. All of a sudden it doesn't want to work. That's what happens when you get prepaid. Stupid. Bruh. This house looks like it's empty, like it's gonna be for sale. Huh. What the heck, man? It is empty. They moved out. I don't want to set the world on fire. Why is it not working? Like, what the heck? I don't want to set the world on fire. It's a bug. I love bugs. Come on. Like, I don't know. I have to find like a place. There's a kitty. I'm sorry guys, I don't know. That's the data because it's prepaid. So it only works in certain areas. Oh Lord. I don't even know. Just get the Bro, we went all the way around and you guys are still glitching. I don't know where to go. I'm trying to figure that out. Now we're at one bar. Really? Really? Okay, I think we're back. just watched a documentary on Murdoch, Robert Murdoch. Like, that's crazy. That guy is crazy. Well, I mean, are we surprised? White men get away with so much stuff because they got money. If you got money and you white, you could commit any crime and get away with it. I mean, look at our president. I'm just saying. Anyways. Yeah, and then we watched, what was that, Wayward? Oh my god, that show is crazy. Thank you for the gifts. All I do is watch TV. No, I went out today. I just said we ate McDonald's. Hello. Bruh. And we didn't go out to go eat. We went out to do something else. But, yeah, what happened was that there was a protest today. So, yeah, we went and did some stuff. But besides that, you know, I don't want to set the world on fire. But I had that song in my head now. But yeah, thank you for the gifts. I'm not gonna walk all the way around because then the data's just gonna shut off. Bro, where do I go? Where do broken hearts go? Can they find their way home? Jesus. There's like a whole car show thing going on. But I was like, it's too late to go there. And I'm not going all the way over there anyways. I knew that was gonna happen. Stupid prepaid. That's why I hate prepaid services. Anyways. Like, I don't even know where to go, guys. I don't even know. I'm just... Happy birthday. I can't even see. Dixon. area was at, but then now we're back. Okay. This just literally sucks. Ow. Stepped on a rock. For me, it's like let me go back. Broke? I am not broke. I'm on a prepaid service because my brother racked up the service fee, and now I have to pay that service, which I will eventually try to pay it off so I could get better service. Like, help. Help. Look at that BMW in all its glory. Hold on. I'm gonna try to cross the street. Yeah, I came late, really. Nobody cares? Well, I care. And if you don't care, you can leave. No one asked you to be here. Thanks. Like, nobody said, hey, did I ask if you care? No, I didn't. Did I push the wrong one? Yeah, I think I did. That's why it's great to use your brain. Well, I'm not on Central, so. It's just like, world on fire. Come on. Tell me I can cross. They gotta turn first, and then I could cross. It's about to like get dark. That just doesn't make sense. Great, a loud car. Thank you for being overly loud for no reason. I mean, I like the cars in the car community, but sometimes they're too overly loud. I have to show them what I make, right? I have to show them my stuff. They're gonna want pay stubs in that. Duh. Why is someone honking? Really? Like, I'm going the other way. I don't know you. Like, why? Like, do people not use their brains or something? Are you okay? Because I don't think you're okay. Like, yeah, they're gonna want documentation. Duh. That's how that works. You can't just say, Now I gotta walk around until there's data. Who the hell is that? Anyways, we're back. So, what I was going to say, since I was rudely interrupted, is that in order for me to complete that application, they need that documentation. So yes, I do have to show it. And I am, because I need to get a place to live. Hello? What's not clicking, Steven? Like, some people just don't use their brains. There's a car coming this way too. So, like, what's not clicking, Steven? Like, hello? Let me go over here. But then it's getting dark, so you won't be able to see me, but at least I might have a place. Like, isn't it crazy? Like, people are just going to be negative, and that's okay. People negative, and that's okay. Ooh, I should have brought my stuff, but I didn't. See, now it's gonna be dark. Like, what? Wow. I'm just gonna sit here, I guess, and then put this up right here like this, I guess. Why is it gonna fall over? Like, it's leveled. It's gonna fall over. And no, I'm not lost. I know where I'm at. Hello? Like, it's dark. It is dark. It's the sun's going down. Not yet. Hi. Why is this like... It's like not trying to stand for some reason. Overtly loud. Yes, everyone says I look like my mom. Oh, and now we're at 2 bars. Really? Now we're at some bars. Let me see if I can, like, stand you guys. There you go. Great. I really need a place to go live. Not even joking, man. What is this? I have it standing and then I move it a certain way and then it's like leaning. And then it doesn't want to stand anymore. Great. Well, I have friends, so there's that. And why do you care if I have no friends or not? It's sad that you want more friends. Because, you know, in life, it shouldn't be about how much friends you have. It shouldn't even matter, because you can have all the friends in the world and nobody still cares. But, hey, that's just that. Like, I don't understand what it is about this whole thing about having all these friends. I don't want a lot of friends, to be honest. I'm not on the streets. I just have to go outside and go live because where I'm at, I can't go live. What friends? Well, I have friends because obviously I went out today. Duh. This is like leaning. It's not standing properly. Like, what the heck? Let me see if it'll stand here. You see, I don't know what to get it to stand. It's just falling over, and who and what is that? No, we need this, like this, and this right here. Like, just stand already. I don't even know, so I'll just hold it. You're rude, and for what? How am I rude? Look, I'm not rude. People are rude. They're mean. They don't know how to treat people with kindness and respect sometimes. And making fun of someone and being like, oh, you're homeless or you're out in the streets. I'm out here because I have to go live. Like, I just literally said I can't go live where I'm at. Like, I'm not risking my living situation to go live. You know, I'm sorry, but my housing isn't going to go as fast as it is because we have an application process. And on top of that, we have to wait because we have an appointment to get a documentation we need for that to complete it. So there's that. So no, I didn't get a nose piercing. It's fake. I didn't say why should I care if someone was having a hard time. When did I say that? No one cares that I'm having a hard time. Does anyone care? Like, I literally have to hustle, which, mind you, the hustle is not even going to work to pay my storage, but does anyone care about me having a hard time? And then you're telling me that I said that to someone? Okay, I didn't say that to someone. So there, that proves my point. Like, you have to understand when someone's going through something. Like, I literally have major depression. I have PTSD. I'm trying to work on that. Oh, and some more news came out, and it's like, more news came out about that, like, accident I was telling you about. Remember that I told you guys I saw that dead body? Well, sadly, it was a 19-year-old who was unalived in a road rage. The guy, I guess, brake checked him and then made a U-turn. And the 19-year-old was going to pick up his mom from work. And I guess the guy brake checked him and basically went, I don't know, basically U-turned and then shot him and unalived him. And yeah, I'm like, poor, I feel like it's sad because she lost her son. It's like scary when something happens. Like, you know, this truck was slowing down in front of us, and you know, I tried not to think like that, but it's just like scary because it's like, what if he just got angry at the slightest thing, and then the next thing you know, bam. Like, there needs to be stricter gun laws, and there needs to be more control, because that's crazy. If you get mad at any slight instance, that is like crazy. You know, getting mad at every instant is like insane. You know what I mean? No, not like that. For the summer, probably going swimming. I love swimming in the summer. I don't go out anywhere because it's too hot, but swimming in the summer, yeah. Where's that car keep, like, you know, and there's a van. There's like cars everywhere. Do you like Steven Universe? I do. Thank you. Go inside where? I don't have anywhere. I hate this having to wait. Well, we have to wait for our appointment, and then you love me? Oh, thank you. No, I'm not running away. I'm not scared. It's just, some things happen. Because, like, people don't know how to drive. I'm going to just be honest, It's not even that. You got to be aware of your surroundings, too. Who's that? It is me. It is I. What if someone say cowgirl outfits? Matching? I don't have anywhere to go. Why would I dress up like a cowgirl? Dirty Bourbon? Is that where I should go? Dang, you should see. We used to, what is it? On Fridays. Is it Friday? I think, yeah, or was it Saturdays? Anyways, I think it was Friday and Saturdays. We used to go to Sonic and the Dirty Bourbon's right there, and man, they're always packed. There's a whole line of people waiting to get into that place. And my brother goes, that's a really good place. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should go to the Dirty Bourbon. Probably, Texas Roadhouse. I don't know, probably. I don't know what I'm doing. No, for safety reasons. And besides, you can't really see me anyways. It's gonna disappear and I'm gonna be gone because it's getting dark. So, yeah. You're not gonna be able to see me that well. How am I gonna turn a light on when I'm outside? Does that make sense? I didn't say anything about anyone. And that's not where I'm at, so try again. And obviously, if I say something, right? Why would you be defending someone that is homophobic, by the way? And I'm not talking about a program. So I don't know why you're talking about a place I'm not at. Actively defending homophobia. That is weird. Imagine defending someone like that and then calling somebody transphobic. That is so weird. Like, I can't even. Like, you guys are so hypocrite. You're hypocrites, right? Saying, accusing a place of da-da-da-da. If I'm experiencing something, which I'm not saying is at any program, anywhere, if I'm going through something, that means that it's actually happening. That I'm not lying. So I don't know why people are being so weird. I know what I'm experiencing. I see what other people in the community are experiencing. I see what's going on Instagram against trans people. I see what's going on Instagram against gay people. And to be honest, the most fetishized people are lesbians. You want to know why? Because they are fetishized because men are gross and disgusting. They would, that's why they get grossed out about men being together but not women, because they fetishize it. I know, I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. I see what was going on. Like, at my school, you know who faced the most homophobia? It wasn't the lesbian couple, it was the male couples, because there was only two. There was like two girls and then there was only like two guys, and those were the only, I don't know if those were the only couples, but those were the ones that, were the only, like, that seemed gay. But I wouldn't know because, but I mean, I noticed how people would treat the guys versus the girls because they fetishize that. Like, it was so disgusting. Like, I would get on the bus and you would hear cheering, you would hear jeers, just all this weird stuff when the girls were kissing on the bus, because obviously, right? But it's like, ugh, like, I was like, that's just, and no, like, what do you call it? What do you call that? Like, no respect whatsoever. That's gross. Like, yeah, and it's not even just young boys, it's men. Like, it's portrayed in movies too, like when the two girls are kissing and they're like, man, that's hot. It's like, okay, but if it was two guys, they would be homophobic. It's not just men. I mean, it's not just young boys. It's men that do that too, because it's in the movies. Like, why is that car coming back around again? You know, it's just gross and disgusting, and why? You know, that's just sick. First he was at the ATM and then he comes this way. That's so weird. That's so odd. And that place is closed, so yeah. Oh, I thought he was gonna hit that car because perception. But yeah, that's like disgusting. And poor dude. Well, not poor dude. Okay, so I knew him, right? Why did he park right there? Anyways, I don't know. There was like, okay, so I knew, what was his name? Now I forget his name. And I think he does adult work now, because I saw an ad and I was like, hey, and I was like, oh, he does adult work now. But anyways, I forget his name. Anyways, I knew him because I was in student government. He was in student government. And yeah, he was telling someone just how horrible he felt because he wanted to, you know, I can't say because TikTok censors, because of the bullying he was facing for being gay. And it's just like, man. And people at my school were very, very homophobic. It was plainly obvious. I mean, you know, that's just how people are, and it's sad. I'm okay, I'm not paranoid. It was just, okay, so this car parked, the guy got down, right, and he went to the ATM, whatever, and then he left, and then he pulled back in, and then parked. And all the businesses are closing. So that, to me, is weird. You see what I'm saying? That's why you gotta watch your surroundings, because you just left and you pulled back around and you pulled in and it's like he's watching me. Like, you don't park there and then just like, you know. Do you know what you sound like right now saying that? You literally sound like you're victim shaming. You know, it's not about looks, right? That is, you're stupid for that one. That is literally legit victim shaming, saying like, oh, he don't want you. Nobody said he wanted me. I said it's very creepy and weird, and I have a right to feel safe. Okay, I shouldn't be made to feel unsafe, obvious reasons. Nobody said no one was after me. I just said I had to be careful, because when you act creepy, see, me, I would just go to an ATM, pull money out, and just leave. I wouldn't go to an ATM, leave, then pull back into an empty side of the parking lot where all the businesses are closed and just park there, okay? I know what I'm talking about. I've had things happen before. I'm used to that. Well, I shouldn't be used to that. Girls shouldn't have to live like that, but they do. So, thank you. Like, hello. Men don't care what you look like. This guy probably had loads of money. I don't know, I just assumed he had loads of money because he was driving a Camaro. And at my old apartment where I'm at, I told you the story. My brother told me to go exchange his scooter. I went all the way to Walmart with no receipt because I forgot. So I went by bus to Walmart and I went to go exchange the scooter, and I was like, oh man, I came back and I told him like, oh, I forgot the receipt. But on my way there, this guy, now he turned his car off. Anyways, this guy basically was like, what time is the bus coming in? I thought he was gonna go bring someone to the bus stop. No, and then he starts asking me these weird questions like, do you have a boyfriend? Like, all of this stuff. Do you want me to take you to... He goes, where are you going? I'll take you. And I was like, no, thank you. I don't get in cars with random strangers. And then he followed the bus, which was really creepy. Like, asking me these questions, just being really weird. It's gross. No, I'm not lying, because it is gross. And I did encounter someone like that at freaking, when I went to Vegas for BTS. Like, he literally was like trying, I guess he was trying to act like he was protecting me from certain people. I don't know, it made no sense. He was literally saying like, who is that? Is that who I think it is? Is that who I think it is? I don't know. No, it doesn't really look like. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. That's kind of... Okay. Anyways, so this guy, I went to a BTS concert, and this guy is just like, you know, what did he say? He was just like, oh, he goes, I'm gonna walk you to the bus stop to make sure you get there safe. And then starts asking me these weird questions like, oh, are you thinking about, he goes, do you ever think about like sex? And I'm like, why are you asking me these questions? Like, what the heck? That's gross. Like, okay, like you said, oh, I'm making sure you get there safe, and then that's a question you ask me? That's gross. Like, why would I tell you that? You're a random person. I don't know you like that. I really don't know you. And then he asked me that, and I was like, no. And then he basically said, he was like, so then he told me he was homeless, and he's going state to state. That he somehow ended up in Vegas, and he's homeless in Vegas, and he was gonna go to another state, but he's homeless. And then he left to go gamble. He's like, I'm gonna go to the casino and gamble. I was like, okay, bye. Like, I'm not lying, I encountered him. Because in every area it's bad, right? There's no good area. But like the area that I was in, it had a bunch of homeless people, which every area has a bunch of homeless people. But the thing is that like there were wedding chapels everywhere too. There was like a wedding chapel right across the street. There was a wedding chapel right behind me. I was in a hostel. So the hostel I was in, you could see the Strat from here, which is the needle. You know, in Vegas they have that big old needle, and it's a rotating like restaurant, and you could go eat there, and you could also bungee jump off of it, because he was telling me, oh, you know, you can bungee jump off of that. And I'm like, really? And I was like, I'm not gonna bungee jump. I'm not risking my life. It's too dang scary. Anyways, so what happened is that yeah, I was like, somebody's cruising, because they just turned and then went back up. Anyways, so yeah, and then it was late at night, right? Because I stayed up until like 5 o'clock till my checkout, right? Because I was gonna walk and get the bus to make sure that I made it to get the Greyhound, because if I fell asleep, I knew I would probably miss and not get my bus. And I didn't have enough money to get back. Like, I barely was able to get back, and I'm like, I'm definitely not going to be stranded here. So I got to make sure. So I stayed up till 5 o'clock. And then I could hear people screaming, because, you know, all the homeless people. So there was screaming, all of that. So, yeah. Then as I was walking, the guy was walking towards me. Well, he was kind of walking. And I'm like, oh, please just ignore me. Please just ignore me. But I knew I already had this like feeling. He didn't ignore me. He stopped. He starts talking to me. Then he's like, let me walk you to the bus stop to make sure that you're safe. And then I was doing, and I said, oh, I came for a concert to see BTS. And he's like, oh, that's dope. He said, you came all this way from New Mexico to see a concert? And I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, that's dope, blah 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 blah. And then basically when he said that, then he was like, oh, I'm gonna go. He said, I'm gonna go gamble. And I was like, I wish I could. I wanted to gamble and play the slots in Vegas, but I didn't get to because I almost got stranded and had to worry about how I was gonna get back. So there was that, and I didn't get to see much in Vegas anyway, so yeah. No, I don't want to track it. What the heck? That is really weird. So yeah. Well, if you don't care, then why are you here? They really enjoy your powerful content. Well, when you spam, obviously, that's bringing attraction to my page. Hey there. Hey, bunny. No, I won't. Don't talk like that, please. Anyways, I rebuke that in the mighty name of Jesus. I rebuke that. Anyways, so yeah, that's what happened. I'm not talking about religion. I'm just not putting that type of energy out there. When someone says something negative, I'm going to say I rebuke it, and I rebuke it, and that's it. Like, what, are you trying to ask for that to happen to you? What goes around comes around. Remember what Justin Timberlake said? What goes around comes back around. I thought I told ya. Hey, what goes around comes back around. I know you want somebody to carry your love some nights. Happy birthday. What goes around comes back around. I thought I told ya. Hey. I know that is not his quote. I'm just talking about the song, Hello, because it was in my head. No one said that was his quote. Duh. I know he didn't say that. I'm not, some people need to chillax and calm down. That's like people thinking that Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You was her song when it was Dolly Parton's. I know the origins of things, okay? I'm not dumb. I'm literally singing the song, Hello. Did I say that was his song? No, or his saying, no, I didn't. That's been around way before he even wrote that song. Bruh. Oh, you're smarter than me? Well, obviously not. The heck? Why did he pop his trunk? He's getting down. You got a car? I wish I had a car. If I had a car, then I wouldn't be here. Okay, that's weird. He popped his trunk. Well, it sounded like he did. Unbuckled his seatbelt, only to drive off. Like, what? What does being 32 have anything to do with saying duh? That's literally ageist. Age has nothing to do with words. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. That's the most ageist thing I've heard in my life. That is so crazy. Someone's like, she said duh and she's 32. That's literally ageist, bro. Come on. An elder millennial. Do you know what ageist is? Like, ageist is literally a thing, guys. That is literally a thing, discriminating against someone based off of their age. People say all the time, like, oh, you're too old to know how to work a phone. That's ageist. They're saying you're too old to go to Disney. That's literally ageist. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. Like, why is nobody's too old to do anything? That just, that is dumb. Well, do your research. Search up the definition of ageist. I don't write these rules. I don't make this stuff up. Like, what is me being 30? I'm not even 32 yet, by the way. I'm still 31. But what does me being in my 30s have anything to do with what I'm saying? Like, I literally defend myself. I literally speak, and then I told, oh, I'm not supposed to talk because I'm 30. So after 30, you're supposed to stop talking? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know why the world is the way that it is and why it's so jacked up is because people stop talking. That's why. Because people let people control them. That's why. Why is it that people are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, not even making a living wage? Like, hello. Like, some of y'all be weird. Sorry, some of y'all be mad weird. It is crazy. You know, there's this person that I follow that has her, I don't know if it's her liver or her kidneys are failing. She's in the hospital a lot, and she works from home. She does the DoorDash, the Uber, and basically is renting a car, because they have a program where you can rent a car and you can earn extra cash that way, but you gotta put the gas in the car, and you don't technically, really, you don't own the car, and it's no money in that because it's gonna go into the car, and then you barely get any money anyways. But yeah, and while having to go in and out of the hospital and not being able to survive, and it's just like crazy. There was a guy that was homeless and had cancer with his dog. Like, these are the things that are so crazy. While people sit here and crack these jokes, no one should have to go through any type of homelessness. Like, okay, I don't know what Grip Baby did, right? I don't even know. Like, I've seen Grip Baby like a couple of times. You know, I've seen her a few times. But for people to call a motel or say, look, this is what she did in her past, and cause her kids to be homeless, how does that make you feel, causing children to be in the streets? And they say, oh, well, it's their mother's fault. They didn't ask to be homeless because you called a motel and caused them to be homeless. What type of heartless people do that? If you don't like someone and their past and what they've done, just block them. You literally caused children to be homeless. And then what are you going to do? Like, basically try to get CPS involved, and then what's going to happen? Like, that lady is probably going to be devastated for children get taken away. Like, and then get put in a system where they get put in an abusive household because CPS does not care about kids. CYFD does not care about kids, most definitely. The system is jacked, and the system is just a system to traffic children. That's what it is. It's a trafficking thing. That car came back again, I think. It's just for trafficking. That's all it is. And it's just so crazy. Oh, you don't believe me? Do your research. I don't gotta tell you what I already know. Google. And I'm not talking about believing Google. I'm talking about looking up credible resources, credible websites, and looking this up. It's no secret. Like, common sense. There is a guy that is coming out about celebrities, which I'm shocked, because one of them is Henry Winkler, and basically saying that he was SA'd, trigger warning, by some huge celebrities, which were Henry Winkler, I forget the other guy's name, and Clive Davis was listed. And he was an orphan in an orphanage, and these people would pay a lot of money to go to this orphanage of kids, because obviously they have no parents, they're orphans, and nobody's gonna look for them, nobody's gonna do anything, because these kids probably ain't gonna say anything because they have nobody. All they have is the people at the orphanage, and the people at the orphanage are shady. Like, the system of kids that have no parents, like, I'm just being 100% honest and real. Like, a lot of these kids don't really have any parents. They don't, and they can get away with doing stuff like that because nobody's gonna look for them. Nobody's gonna say anything, you know. It's just gonna be like this whole thing, and you know, it's just like that. Like you people have to understand, you know, that's a very much real thing. They take advantage knowing that, you know, well, these kids ain't gonna speak. They don't have nobody to talk. They don't have no parents, so we could take advantage. It's like that guy, trigger warning, he raped this lady's mother and at her home because I guess what happened was that she had a bunch of cameras up because her mom's has dementia. And so she saw, like, the motion sensor went off and she saw him. It was a worker that worked for this, like, nursing home that goes out and takes care of people, like home care. And it was like motion sensor. And then the next thing you know, just like, you know, basically the next thing you know, she sees him taking his shirt off, no shirt, comes back out of the bathroom completely naked, and then she calls them and they rush. They go into her mom's room. I don't know if it was her house or whatever, but I know that the people from the place went into her mom's room to check on her and see if she was okay, and the poor lady was naked. And then they were saying, "Are you okay, ma'am?" or whatever, and obviously she can't kind of communicate properly because she has dementia. And then her daughter went and asked her and was like, did you want to have? And she's like, no. She goes, no, I didn't. No. And like, yeah, he had done that to her. He took advantage. Like, it was like a bus driver that I had. This bus driver got caught taking this kid in a wheelchair that was disabled and SAing him. This is disgusting. Like, and he used to be my bus driver in middle school. Like, he was my middle school bus driver, and I saw this on TV, and I was, like, shocked, because I was like, that guy used to drive me, and that's disgusting. Because and a lot of times, people take advantage of nonverbal people. They will, because they're not verbal. They can't tell anyone what happened to them because they can't speak. He was driving him somewheres, and then he would drive him home, and they would be late. Like, they will always be late, but the parents didn't know what was going on because their child can't tell them anything. And then they put 2 and 2 together, and they found out that's what was happening. The system fails the kids. I don't like talking about traumatizing situations. I just said the system fails the kids because I was talking about Grit Baby, and I don't understand why people make it their life's mission to cause someone to be homeless with kids. It doesn't make sense why you would contact a motel and cause Grit Baby and her kids to be homeless and then say, well, it's her fault. No, it's y'all's fault because you don't know how to act on social media. You treat people like SHIT, excuse my language, and then you expect people to walk and give you the kind of grace and respect that you don't deserve. Like, there's nothing funny about causing someone to be homeless with their kids. Thank you for the galaxy. Thank you for the gifts. It's just so crazy. Why would you want someone to be homeless with their kids in the street? What do you get out of that? If I don't like someone, I'm not going to make their life a living hell. I'm just going to block them. I'm not going to cyberbully them. I'm not going to say some stuff. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to block them because, you know, that's just what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I'm just not. Yeah, I did sign with a company, but they lied. First of all, it's discrimination. I'm going to say I will not work with that company because they do not care about people of color. And whoever is under their management or whoever works with that talent agency is literally working with an agency that does not care about people of color. I am going to say, because first of all, how do I get more likes and more views than they actually do on their own page? If you go to their page, they only get 10 likes. Like, how are you going to try to tell me that you're going to get me brand deals? You're going to do all of this for me, but you can't even get likes on your own page. That doesn't even make sense. And then on top of that, the person did work for them because I went to the page. I checked everything out and it verified. They literally put in their story, we was never going to work with Tophia, blah, blah, blah. That is BS, considering the fact that I got information to log in. When I went to go log in, then I said, oh, I can't make an account. I can't log in. Then she tries to tell me, well, we looked at your page and your content isn't a good fit for us. We're sorry. And I was like, what the heck? They were like, yeah. Your content just isn't, like, your content isn't, like, what we do. Or I guess they don't work with people who make that type of content. I'm like, first of all, you saw my content. You reached out to me. That's why you reached out to me. Right? Like, you saw my content and you reached out to me, and then you're trying to tell me that you didn't reach out to me, that you was never gonna work with me. That is a bunch of BS. That is fake, because they tried to make the excuse to say that it was my content was the reason why they wasn't gonna work with me. That is BS. That is lie. That is crap. Like, you literally made a freaking statement to make it seem like I was lying. Literally made a whole statement to make it seem like I was the one that was being delusional and that I was just saying I was working with you, like I'm some type of liar. Why would I lie about working with a talent agency? That does make no sense, considering the fact that I'm in a motel, I'm homeless, and I'm excited about having all of these deals, only to be screwed over because you think black people can be racist. I don't know how many times I have to tell people black people can't be racist. It literally pisses me off because it's pure discrimination. They will find any reason to not work with people of color. That is factual. But I'm sure you're working with white racist people right now as we speak. I bet you there are white racist people signed to that talent agency. I'm not even surprised. When it's black people, you know, it's a whole thing. But when it's a white racist person, then, you know, that is crazy. Like, I'm not even gonna, you know, that is crazy. Why is that truck coming in here fast? You see, this is what I talk about. People need to learn to slow down and not drive like that. That causes accidents. Anyways, you know, that's crazy. Like, I'm not the one that's crazy. You know, here I am thinking like, oh, you know, I'm finally going to be able to provide for my family. We're going to get out of this situation, you know. I'm going to be successful and have a stable living, you know. And then people victim shaming me and telling me if I wasn't homeless, that wouldn't have happened to my brother. Like, that is not something you tell someone, considering the fact that there's no way to control gun violence. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and play these dumb games and literally be victim shamed like that. That's utter pure disgustingness. Because if that happened to you when you were shopping at a Walmart, well, what if I told you, well, you know, you shouldn't have went to that Walmart that day? You know, that's like telling people that got you know, pew-pewed at the movie theater, oh, maybe you shouldn't have went to the movie theater. That wouldn't have happened to you. You know, these are things that people should not say, because that's victim shaming. That's disgusting. That's very disgusting. What does me being homeless have anything to do with that? I was literally paying rent weekly. I was paying rent at the place. We just literally slightly fell behind, which, you know, my brother was going to try to help again. But I had been paying the rent. So if I was paying for a place for my family to live, why are you blaming me for causing me to get kicked out of the place where I'm at? Because you kept harassing them while I was literally paying rent. And you know what is the funny thing is that people say, oh, well, maybe if you would have got a place and paid rent, you wouldn't be homeless, but I was paying rent. And then you still didn't stop. You still kept going. You still kept harassing me, and you still kept causing me to have no place to live, even though I was paying rent. That made no sense whatsoever. None. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I was paying rent and doing everything I was supposed to do, and people still caused me to be homeless. And then tries to tell me that maybe if I was doing what they asked me to do, they would stop, and then they didn't stop. Clearly, nobody stopped. That was the crazy part. I was still paying rent. I was still doing everything that I was supposed to do to help take care of my family, and I still got harassed. So what is that? Are you just want to cause people psychological damage to the point where they hurt themselves, and then you don't want to take responsibility for that? Like telling someone if they got a job, they would stop. My brother got a job and you didn't stop. You literally called his job and told them he was a health hazard. What the hell is funny about that? You literally tell people if they do the things that'll stop, that you'll stop. But literally, what makes no sense to me is that I was literally doing the very things people was telling me, and then they still harassed me. Because why? I didn't want to get off the internet and go get a job, and you were mad that I was still able to pay my rent weekly? That is so crazy. That is so crazy. I literally was paying the rent and keeping that place up for my family because they were struggling. If it wasn't for my social media, we would have really been in the streets. We would have literally been in the streets. I was providing for my mom who has health problems, and then you guys want to say it's my fault. I'm literally asleep in the back of an SUV, and here comes the cops because people found out where we at and told them that I was threatening them when I did not. You're threatening me, telling me that you're gonna pull up to me. I don't know. You're gonna unalive me with a pew pew because I'm just gonna let you walk up to me? No, that's not how it works. You make threats and you say you're gonna show up to someone, right? I have the right to self-defense. I'm not going to make threats to someone and then go show up at their house and not expect to be 6 feet under. And I'm not making threats. Self-defense, you have the right to use self-defense. I don't know why people keep sitting here acting like all shocked. I didn't make threats to no one. They made threats to me first. They talk about how they were going to unalive my family all the time, and look at what happened to my brother. Then you blame me because you don't know how to leave people alone. It's so crazy. Like, you don't leave people alone, and you threaten them. You harass them to the point of not leaving them alone, and get mad when they're doing the very thing that you asked them to do, and then you continue to harass them and blame them. Like, oh, you couldn't pay rent. There was one time, and not one time, there was like that time when we were at the last place we was at, where yes, I was struggling to pay the rent. Like I said, I put in my story, can someone help me get rent? And I guess they tried to send it to the place or whatever to say, look, they can't even pay the rent. Like, you know, that's a fucked up thing to do to someone who is literally trying to make ends meet, to try to have a place for their mother who is sick, and you just pile all of this stuff on them. Like, I'm trying to survive and I can't even do that. And I'm trying not to get emotional or sad because people make fun of that shit. And excuse my language, but I was paying rent and taking care of my family, and people told me I wasn't doing nothing. They caused me to be homeless, and then they don't want to take responsibility. If we would have never been in that car, my brother would have been alive, and my mom wouldn't have had to go through what she's going through, because nobody left us alone. And they don't take responsibility, and they victim shame me like it's my fault, like I asked for all of this. Oh, well, maybe if you would have never went on social media. You guys don't know how to leave people alone. You harass people and you get enjoyment out of that. Like, look at how Daniel Larson is deteriorating in World of T-shirts because you think this stuff is funny, but these are people's real lives. This is real life. This is not no joke. You know, and then you make fun of me being upset and crying. Of course. How am I gonna move forward? I feel like I can't even move forward in life. I feel like I can't move forward. How am I supposed to move forward and you know, help my mom when I just want to give up so badly because I know if I get a job, here I am gonna be laughed at because I get fired from my job because people don't know how to leave me alone. I can't even move past having a normal life because nobody wants me to live a normal life because, you know, they vilify me, and no matter how many times I defend myself or stick up for myself, it's not good enough for anyone. And I'm trying to not be weak and upset and deteriorating, but I just can't do it anymore because I get laughed at. Oh, you're homeless, you're under a bridge. Like, nobody cares what is happening to me. No one cares because they think it's funny. Oh, you're not providing for your family. If I wasn't providing for my family, that car wouldn't have been running. I paid $200 for a car part my brother couldn't even afford at that time. I'm the one who put car insurance on the car so we could at least somewhat drive around, even though it wasn't registered, so he can DoorDash to make money. I'm the one who had my phone set up for him to DoorDash at times because, and I was keeping the phone bill. If it wasn't for me paying the phone bill, then he wouldn't be able to pay it to DoorDash. I was the one who was doing all of that while also trying to provide food for my family in the car, which I was doing that as well, which is so crazy because people say I wasn't doing nothing. I was the one who was helping to pay sometimes to wash. Yes, my brother started working and then he started paying to wash. But it's so crazy that people say I did absolutely nothing. If it wasn't for me, that car wouldn't have been running. We would have been stuck in a non-running car just sleeping there. My brother wouldn't have been able to get to work. These are the things that I have been doing to provide for my family. Well, people thought it was funny. If I didn't have that money from social media, I don't know what I would do, because at this point it is beyond return. At this point it is beyond return. Okay, I can't take this stuff back, but what, I'm supposed to go get a job so I could get fired? Because at this point it's already too late. People need to check their mental health and seek a therapist. I go to therapy every Wednesday. You literally tell me to go to therapy, you need to go to therapy. If you think ruining someone's life, if you think it's exhausting. I hear this from other people too, and the stuff that they're going through. I mentally can't do it anymore. My mental is jacked the up. I can't see myself living a normal life or enjoying life because I'm stuck. People make me feel shit, excuse my language, shitty, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm having my TikTok used against me. Here I am trying to provide. I have to be able to pay for a place for my mom to live. How am I going to do that? How am I going to get a place and then tell them, oops, I'm sorry, I need a place to live, but I can't pay for it. You guys are literally shitty human beings. You don't get it, and you don't understand. You never will understand. You don't live in someone's shoes to understand just what the heck they're going through. Obviously, right? Housing is not going to pay 100% for my rent. I have to do that on my own. If I get off social media, I'm still not going to be able to pay for it. I'm not getting off social media. You just need to shut the F up and get off social media yourself. If you don't know how to treat people, then you shouldn't be on social media. That's just my point blank. You are using me getting off of social media as an excuse to continue to harass people. That is literally against the law. And if I knew who you actually were, your full name and last name, I could literally report you to your local police. That is literally harassment. That is not allowed. That is literally against the law. Stalking someone online, harassing someone online. Slander, libel, and defamation is also against the law. How can you put your head down? How can you lay your head down and go to sleep when you've done that. Like, imagine doing that. I wouldn't be proud of myself for causing children to be homeless. That's embarrassing. It's weird. Thank you. Goodbye, Vance. Here we go. Block. Okay. I gotta walk back. Hell. Oh Lord, I just need to get back. And now it's saying, I don't know what it's saying. I'm gonna go make me some tea when I get back. Powder tea. Why is someone screaming? Someone was just screaming. I gotta get back because I'm gonna go in. I'm exhausted, you know. Ooh. Nice car. It's eerie when things are like closed and it's like dark. Now you can see me because of the lights. Bruh. I'm like tired. I'm just gonna go back and then get off and go make me something to drink maybe and get ready to go to sleep. Cause yeah, oh man, I just missed the light. Crap. Maybe I can make it. I think I can make it. That car doesn't turn. Hurry up. Why are you turning? You're not even supposed to turn. See? No concern for pedestrians whatsoever. I had the right of way. Well, I would have had. But it was still green. So, yeah. You're only supposed to turn on a green arrow. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go home and I only have to be in. I could be up all night if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go home and get a drink and probably eat something. I don't know. I ate McDonald's, but I don't know. I got stuff I gotta do too. Dang, I got, oh no, there's probably other people's cars, because it's like they got 3 cars, but no, it's probably the people that live there. He literally turned on his light to look at me. I'm just walking with a tripod, bro. That's the police for you. Not doing their job. Anyways. Well, I know what I saw. I'm not dumb. I just looked at him, dummy. He looked at me. He just literally turned on the light in his car, looked at me, turned it off, and then looked forward. Like, I pay attention. I'm not stupid. You may think they do their job, but they don't. They're too busy harassing homeless people or harassing people for no reason. We got harassed for just being parked somewhere at a park and sleeping. So you can't even sleep. Being homeless, you can't even sleep in a car because you get harassed. Cool. I know what I'm talking about. I've witnessed things. I'm not an idiot. This world is so messed up. You've got evil people. You've got, like, you have a whole predator that is president that makes all this money, but yet you want to talk about how I cannot have a life. Maybe it's because I'm a black woman. Maybe it's because I'm a black woman that's part of a community. You know what community, and I can't say it because, you know, reasons. That is so insane to me. You know, you could have a white man that's a president, that's a predator, that's in the files, mind you, a 34-time convicted felon, but ain't no one calling his job, ain't no one harassing him, ain't no one, like, people voted for this man, and he's not the only one. It is so hypocrites. You guys are hypocrites. It's so hypocritical of you to literally say that, to do that to someone. I couldn't even imagine. You literally do that to someone, and then you go to sleep like it's a normal thing. Like, oh, well, you're not supposed to have a life. You're not supposed to be able to afford to live because we said so. But yet there are people who could still literally be comfortable. James Charles is still on the app. Even though he admitted to doing the things, he's still making money. He's still selling his makeup. He's still able to have a successful makeup brand. And ain't nobody doing nothing. And they say, well, we don't support that. We don't. Well, then why don't you harass him constantly like you harass me? If you're not doing that, then you support him. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not saying to do that. I'm not saying to do that, but if you're not going after people that's clearly still supporting him, then what are you doing? I'm not bothering nobody, but yet everyone wants to harass me. But they don't harass people that is still actively doing stuff, which is weird. I haven't done anything. You're mad because I won't apologize? You don't get a personal apology like I'm supposed to apologize to you. That's so weird. That is very weird. I don't owe you a personal apology. Dang. They're racing. That car was racing that motorcycle. I'm like, dang, it was neck and neck. Jeez. I think the BMW slightly won. Anyways, I'm gonna go make me something to drink and go to bed because I'm tired. Have a good day or night where you guys are. I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.